The Alphabet Song.
I know the letter A says A and A. I know the letter B says B, B, B. I know the letter C says K, K, K. I know my alphabet.
Can you read me a little bit from your solar system book?
Mercury. Mercury is the closest planet to the sun. The side of Mercury facing the sun gets twice as hot as a kitchen oven.
Holy moly, that's hot. High five to you, Thaddeus. Thank you so much. Yeah, and that is the common theme here at this preschool. These kids go through this fantastic program. Thanks to Stacy, you've introduced this to your school about 4 years ago, and you say it's done wonders for your students.
Amazing. It's called Frontline Phonics. We do one letter a week. Once they reach a certain amount of letters that they've learned, they start sounding out books. They take the books home, they practice with their parents, and then they're off and running.
Welcome to our viewers out there. I'm Carolyn Manfredi, and today I am here with Murray Bass, founder of Tools of Learning for Children here in Solano County. Welcome, Murray.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here with you.
So tell us what Tools of Learning is and what is its philosophy.
Tools of Learning for Children is an organization that helps young people learn to read in preschool. Actually, what we do is help people who subsequently become adults, and literate adults is what our objective is. And the program has really worked. And anyhow, so anything else I can add to that?
And it's a nonprofit.
Yes, we're a 501c3 nonprofit, and have been from the very beginning. We've been in business 13 years.
And how did you get started?
Well, it's kind of a funny story. I write columns for the Fairfield newspaper, and I'd written a column that said grandparents can help their grandkids in school by representing the parents when they can't be there. And it sounded good, but a lady named Rosie Stowe came and said, hey, that's not true, because I have a 6th grade grandson who's dyslexic and he can't read, and the schools are telling me there's no such thing as dyslexia. Well, that kind of made me mad because my son is dyslexic. So that was the beginning. We found a program that helped kids learn to read whether they were potential dyslexic or not. And matter of fact, I had seen a study that said if you expose kids to a program like phonics early enough, that the circuitry in the brain that represents dyslexia won't harden. And the school that where the Frontline Phonics program originated had 100% readers without screening, so it seemed to prove it.
So Frontline Phonics is the program that you provide?
Yes, that's correct, and it's a great program, and it's one that uses 2 strategies that are very effective. One, it's direct instruction, so that if you follow the recipe, it's going to work. And the other is multisensory instruction, and where we use all of the child's senses to learn. And one of the things I realized not long ago was that it's more than multisensory instruction is more than reading. When you use those other senses, you're also developing those other senses, so you're building a much more capable child.
And you think reading is the key to a child being successful in school?
Well, I think that's true. Being able to accumulate and process information is absolutely essential to not just children, but to adults. One of the basic reasons that kids fail in school is that and drop out of school is that they can't do the work, and they can't do the work because they can't read.
And I think we have a clip of one of the children who learned to read in your program. Can we show that now?
Bake a cake. Kate and Nate will make a cake. The kids will make Dad glad. Mom naps. Fox naps. The fox can not see. Jean is big. He has a trunk, a tail, and flat ears. Jean is not just big, Jean is huge. Jean likes to rest in the tall grass. He sees a small cub on the edge of the grass. Dad has the cake. Kate and Nate made Dad glad.
That was amazing.
Well, it works.
I can see. So what is phonics and how does it work?
Phonics is basically learning letter names and sounds, and then being able to blend those letter names, letter sounds into words. Like the Frontline Phonics program has two songs that teach phonemic awareness. One is called the vowel song that says every vowel has two sounds. The other is the alphabet song that gives the sounds of every letter in the alphabet. And once that's done, the children learn to blend consonants and vowels into words. And the kids take off. It's really great.
Does it work for all children?
Well, it seems to. There are probably a few who might be developmentally disabled that it might not work for, but if a child is reasonably sound, yes, it'll work for every child.
Is any child too young, or is there any danger in using this program at a young age?
No, I think what is true is that children will learn when they're ready to learn. And you don't make children learn. They're on a trip of discovery. We have one little girl in West Sacramento who is 2.5, and she's reading at the 3rd grade level. It's just really remarkable. But
that is remarkable.
She's ready.
I guess.
Yes.
So how does Solano stack up as far as preschools and their ability to read when they get to kindergarten?
Well, the preschools that we service, for the most part, are producing readers, and the kids are able to read when they get to kindergarten. That's not true of all of them, because all of them have some of them have different objectives. I'd like to say that everyone wants the kids to read, but that isn't true. But every school teaches the kids phonemic awareness so that they are ready to read when they get to kindergarten.
Every school that you service does?
That's correct, yes.
Okay. And let's talk a little more about the organization. What exactly do you do, and how does it get done?
Well, we have a board of directors, and each person has a job to do. Basically, it's very simple. What we do is we recruit schools. We show people how to do the program, and we provide the Frontline Phonics materials to them, and then we have what we call a report card, and that is based on the steps that are involved in Frontline Phonics, and we require the schools to give us a report, not on each child, but rather on how many children are at each success level.
In the aggregate of their classes?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. And how many schools and children in Solano County are involved at the present time?
Well, there are, present time, there are 43 schools. 43 schools. For example, the city of Vallejo has 8 schools in their preschool program. But, and we reach about 2,000 kids a year.
Pretty good. How many kids total are there, do you know, in this age group in Solano County?
Well, there are about 8,000.
So there's still a lot
Yes.
to access.
Yes.
Are children's parents involved in this program?
Yes, as a matter of fact, that's one of the really positive things about it. The parents help the kids practice, and what we do is we provide a CD that the kids take home with them, where they learn the alphabet and vowel song, and then letters one at a time. And the parents help the kids learn those. Play the CDs for them, and I had to laugh. Someone said about one of the parents is that she was playing the CD on the car CD player, and she said, "Boy, I'll be glad when this is over." So it's all the time, but it does help to create a bond between the child and the parent. So.
You said you provide Frontline Phonics as the program for this endeavor.
Yes.
Are there reasons why you chose this particular program?
Yes, there are several reasons. Number one, I mentioned earlier that in the Learning Dynamics school where it was created, every child learned to read. But in addition to that, the University of Oregon had a research-based study where randomly chosen kids out of Learning Dynamics were compared to first grade kids in an Oregon school. And they were superior to those first grade kids as far as reading skills were concerned. And that's pretty persuasive, I think.
How did you find this program?
Well, by actually searching on the web. So.
And what does it cost per child for this?
Well, to set up a program in a new school, it costs about $50 a child. Once the program is established, the cost is about $20 a child, which is very, very reasonable when you're changing lives and creating readers.
And how do you get the funds to provide this to these schools?
Beg. No, we have to go out and ask people to sponsor kids and support the program.
And I understand you have no paid staff, only volunteers.
That's correct.
So how do you get all this done?
Well, we have volunteers, and it isn't always easy, but we have developed the program to the point to where it doesn't require a whole lot of administrative work. So it just happens, and you said we're all volunteers. That's true. We don't have any payroll. We don't have any rent. Everything that we get just about goes to pay for the materials that go to the schools.
So how successful do you believe Tools for Learning program has been? And can you give us a success story?
Well, I think we have seen some success stories in the little...
right.
Okay. But one of the things that really persuaded me to start out with was in our first year, we had a pilot program with 4 moms and kids in it. And one of the moms was a teacher, and her little girl's name was Katie. And she told me, she said, I had the most exciting and rewarding day in my teaching career today when I took my little girl Katie to her daddy's office and she read her first 7 words. She's 4 years old, so that was enough to motivate me to say, hey, let's go and let's do it.
Very good. I understand that some of the schools are now using the same program for adults. Can you tell us about that?
Sure. One of our directors, school directors, has a school called Our School Preschool, but she's also the chairperson for the parent education program for the adult school. And she established a program where essentially for Hispanics, where the parents and the children both participate in the Frontline Phonics program and have class together, and then the parents go to a parenting class afterwards. And the program really works, and both the children and the parents are learning to read.
Sounds like a good program.
Yes, it is a fantastic program.
And I understand you also have a math program for preschoolers. How does that program work?
Well, that program is in the development stages, and what we try to do is we try to help the kids understand the difference between letters and numbers. And during the course of the year, we're teaching them how to count by ones to 50, twos to about 50, and tens, fives and tens to 100. And now this is a 4-year-old, so this is really pretty rare. But the kids love it, and they actually are going to what we call the number line, where they these calculations are. And they have a pointer, and they go through this over and over again, and they enjoy it. Kids like to discover things, and in addition to that, while we give them experience in transactions, so they're learning fractions, they're learning money, they're learning calendar, and they learn how to tell times in 15-minute intervals. And remember, these are 4-year-olds, so it's a remarkable program, and it really works. And we actually are having some addition, subtraction calculations that they can do. And it's, but we're not, the important thing to understand is we're not forcing people. We're not forcing the kids to do anything. So they love it. Learning is discovery, and for the kids, and it ought to be discovery for you and me. So.
Well, I'm glad you said that, because that was my next question. There are detractors of this approach that think that this is too much pressure on children at a young age.
That's the problem that we have with our education system today. Here in California, for example, they say we should be teaching things that are developmentally appropriate, which is true, we should. On the other hand, they have made an arbitrary decision that it's not developmentally appropriate for young children to learn. Now, the idea behind that is that it's work, but it's not work. These kids love to discover, and they're going to discover whether we have it in a teaching or an academic environment or not.
And from looking at the clip, it looks like it's fun.
It is. They love it. They really love it. So.
Okay. I'm sure after this broadcast, there are many parents of preschools who are wondering, one, if their preschool has this program, and if not, how do they communicate that to their teacher and get a hold of you to get it started?
Well, they can contact us or me. My telephone number is 707-427-0744. Our website is Tools for Preschool, the number 4, preschool.org. And they can get instructions there. We can be reached on our by email at toolsoflearning @gmail.com. So we'll be happy to respond to anyone. We have materials that we can send that tell what's involved and how you can get the program for your school.
All righty. I think that's about all the time we have today. We hope the viewers found this program very interesting and that you will check out your preschool and see if they're offering this or might be open to offering it, and contact Murray or Tools of Learning for Children.
I know my alphabet. I know the letter P says. I know the letter